Hey guys, and welcome to or back to my channel.
Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone.
I am so excited to be here filming today's video for you guys because it is a long time coming, and when I say that I mean a very long time coming. I started working on this, I believe, either end of August or early September, and it is currently December. I've had this done for a couple of weeks and haven't had time to film this part for you because I've been super busy. If I'm being completely honest, which is also why a video hasn't come out on my channel in at least 4-5 weeks. It is exam season and I'm finishing up school right now for the winter holiday, but I have a day off, so I'm getting some pre-filming done for you guys. Also, if my tongue looks weird, it's green. I think it's coming out blue on camera for some reason. I just ate a Jolly Rancher. So yeah. We love Harry Styles in this household. We have a picture of him right there. And I also love crafting. I spent most of my summer, and I'm actually not done, but I've been working on crocheting a blanket for a very long time. And I just needed to take a break, do something else. So I thought it was a great idea to crochet the infamous J.W. Anderson Harry Styles cardigan. I know lots of people on YouTube and TikTok have done this already, but I wanted to do a take of it on my own. So I found the knit pattern that J.W. Anderson actually put out. At the time that I started this project, I didn't know how to knit. I did this completely in crochet. I saw other people's crochet cardigans which looked amazing, but I wanted it to look a little bit closer to the original. So I got creative and I made it. And to begin with any good project, we need a plan. So here's our plan. We are going to need 5 panels all made up of different patchwork pieces, making 72 squares in total. I am going to use the same plan for them as the J.W. Anderson knit pattern. I am also going to need 2 cuffs, a neck piece, the bottom trim to go all the way around, and 2 pieces along the side as the trim to attach the buttons onto. Okay, I'm back from Michael's with all my yarn. So what the plan is to follow J.W. Anderson using the actual pattern that he has on his website. So that is the goal, and I bought all the yarn for it. I'm just gonna work on it. I want to bring you guys along, so I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Since I do not knit, this is gonna be a crochet tutorial. I also don't want it to look too distressed, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Come along for this fun journey, and we are gonna do this. So for yarn colors, you're gonna need a green, a red, a blue, a yellow, an orange, and a black. Now obviously if you didn't want to make it exactly like Harry Styles' one, you can use all sorts of different colors, but this is what I was gonna do, so that's what we're gonna do. I also have been working on a blanket. That's a little sneak peek, that's a whole other video, but yeah. So I bought all the yarn. I also bought a new crochet needle because it has this like really nice grip. My other one's in use for the blanket. As much as you can remove a crochet needle and everything, I just wanted to have a new one for this project. I did buy 2 reds. I don't know if I'm gonna need them. I don't know if I'm gonna need more yarn, less yarn, all of that. So I might return it, but so far I've spent $46 on this project. We are gonna start with our project. Okay, hey guys, so this is just a little crochet update. So I have created at least one of each of my squares, so I'll show you them. When you're watching this, my plan is already created, so you guys probably already know. Since each one of the squares on the actual cardigan is a different knit, I wanted to do a different crochet pattern to make them slightly different. Obviously you can't transfer over all knitting patterns into a crochet, so what I did was green is single crochet. I do already have 2 of these. Black is just a half double crochet. Orange is a double crochet. So we have 3 basic and then the 3 cool ones. This looks terrible because it's super loose down here it nice and tight up here because it was my first one that I've ever done a pattern, but I followed the same pattern from the JW Anderson pattern to create this square so that it looks just like the cardigan. I know some people have done it where it's like a salt and peppery look. I just wanted to actually fill out the pattern. So I did that. Yellow is like this bubble stitch and red is Elizabeth stitch. So I'm doing pretty good, I think, because I have this entire pile. I have 2 green, 1 black, 2 orange, 1 red and black, 1 yellow, 3 red, and I'm finishing another. I only need 10 red and 10 black, so I think those are the ones that I want to cross off first, but we're getting there and I'm just gonna keep going. I'm actually at my parents' house right now and I'm just watching Family Guy and we're stitching away. So yeah, it's going well. I just got off work and I'm waiting for my roommate outside the Carleton University gym and I'm crocheting. And people keep looking at me so funny. I just want to ride home, but I'm waiting for my roommate to be done at the gym. So okay, hey guys, crochet update because I haven't done one in a really long time. I finished both front panels. I actually did all the things and then put them together. Seeing things finished gives me a feeling of accomplishment. It makes long tasks like this not as hard. I also decided to make these side pieces that are, the trim is going to be right here for the buttons. Decided to make them only 14 stitches instead of 20. Then I actually have room for my neck part. I thought that was pretty smart. That's what I did. So I have the 2 front panels and I'm actually working. I have the top, the back, and I'm stitching together the second part of the back. I'm gonna put those 2 together and then attach these onto that, hopefully tonight. It is 10 o'clock at night. I just got back from work, but I wanna do this, feel a little bit of accomplishment. So that's the update. I haven't updated you guys talking in I think absolutely forever. So we're about 2-3 weeks into doing this project. Yeah, that's where we are. So I'm just gonna stitch together some panels right now. So see you on the flip side. Okay, so for the neck piece, I used one of my sleeve ones that I already made to kind of measure how many I needed from the point that I liked. In the end, this changed because I did lower the neck piece a little bit because when I actually put it on, I needed it a little bit lower. I also used the bottom piece to do this, and then we got crocheting. I made it much longer width-wise than I did both the sleeve as well as the bottom piece, so that helped, but it worked out good. I haven't done a crochet update in I think literally a month, but here's one. The body is completely finished and I actually just finished a sleeve and I'm attaching it on right now. So for with the sleeve, all I did was do 14 by whatever to make a square, 18 by, and then our normal squares. Up here, again, using these as anchors to tie, I'm putting these along here and they are gonna have to stretch, but it's also gonna stretch out rows in the body because they're not perfect squares. As you can kind of tell, like these are like slightly rectangular. So this is gonna somewhat balloon, but not as much as if we had done all this size, and by bringing these down a little bit, it's not gonna be stupidly long on the arm as well. So I'm gonna sew all of that on. I also just got metal tapestry needles, so that's really exciting. And it has made the process so much quicker, which is so nice because it was taking forever for a long time there. We're gonna start with this, finish up the other sleeve, and then we just need to sew the entire cardigan together. Sew along here, along the sleeves, and then put the hemming on the bottom. So I will do all of that and I'm almost done my cardigan. So it's pretty exciting. Great, please ignore my towel. I just got out of the shower, but wanted to show you guys that last night I put together most of the sleeve. I left this part to show you how I anchor everything. So I leave most of the tails. Some of them I'll stitch through before getting to this point, but I leave most of them. And then I will fold the cloth starting in the middle, tie them to anchor them, tie them over here because this will do most of the stretching. It's especially important with these smaller pieces here. And that basically anchors everything. You can also use a stitch marker, but that's how I do it. And then I'm just gonna hold it and do my normal sew up. This won't necessarily match this point here because there's a different number of stitches. What you're gonna have to do is on some of them, I tend to do this close to the middle, is on the smaller piece, you're gonna have to put one of those into two up here to even them out. I'm gonna stitch this up and then our second sleeve will be done and I can attach it to the cardigan. I don't think I told you guys that the other sleeve is on the cardigan. It's all stitched up and done. I did it off camera because for this entire project, I'm just going ahead and learning as I go. I'm making it up. I'm just going to stitchity stitch. So now that this is all put together, I am going to use my needle to hide all of these stitches. Keep all but one on these sides available so that when we put it together, those can tie and anchor, and all but one on each of these. So really only one of the, I think this black one's going to be hidden in here because these are going to be used to anchor the top of the sleeve onto the actual cardigan. And then we're going to put it on the cardigan. I'm so excited to be done. As you can see, I already hid all of those. So I just need to do these ones and that one black thread. Sleeve is completely done. Now we've got to attach it to the cardigan. So my cardigan's already right side out with the other sleeve. We're turning it inside out and we are working on this side. So I'm going to make sure that this is inside out too, and using my anchoring bits, tie it on to the shoulder. Since these are like rectangles and not full squares, it's going to cause the sleeve to stretch a little bit and continue that angular look. And then I will stitch along the top and come back to you guys. I moved my entire project out onto my balcony because it may be November, but it was like 15 degrees outside. And I sewed up from the top of the wrist down along the arm and then down to the bottom of the cardigan. And I'll show you what I did to actually connect the cuff because I wanted it to be seamless, and so I did an invisible stitch with my like slip stitch. So to do this, you can look up a bunch of tutorials, but basically you want to undo that last slip that you did to knock off, remove that entire stitch, and then I'm going to go up through it underneath the other one and essentially make a fake stitch there. So I'm really proud of myself. That was all the red I had left after doing everything. I did use 2 balls, but that's all I had. So I clipped some off, and that's what I'm going to use to connect the actual cuff together. So because of the ribbing and how I did it, we can make this invisible as well. Essentially, you're just going to sew it underneath and line it up so that it matches everything else and stitch it all together. You're then going to need to put the sweater inside out again so that you can sew in all of those ends. Just make sure that they're nice and tight and in everything, and then you can cut off the bare ends. Just like everything else when you're hiding your stitches, you just want to make sure that's secure and will not come unraveled. Ignore what I'm wearing other than the cardigan, and you can hear BuzzFeed Unsolved. But this is what we have. It is now time to put the bottom trimming on, and then we are going to finish off with the button areas. I am so impressed with myself so far. I absolutely adore it. So I'm going to do the same slip stitch along the bottom. For the hem, I'm not going to show that because it's just going to be too crazy. Also, the sun is like setting right there and it's super in my face, but I'm not going to show that because I will be filming on how to do the slip stitch, and it's the same thing along here as along down there, except we're not stretching a cuff. So it's actually going to be a little bit easier. I will come to you once that's done. It will be nice because I will balance the cardigan a little bit more. Right now it's a little flimsy, so I'm very excited. So I'm just finishing up my cardigan. There's Mac. but I wanted to show you where we're at. So the entire bottom is on. This side, which the buttons are going to be attached to, is done. I used it as a test to know how many rows and how many stitches I need, because you need to do the same number of stitches on this side as this side. Then I decided that I really liked the idea of a button pairing up with this, so I put a marker, and then each, what ended up being 14 stitches, I put a thing in, which I really like that there's going to be a button near the top but not right at the top. And what I'm going to do is single crochet up until this stitch, leave 3, this being the middle one, and then keep going, and then I'm going to go back down and we will be done. And after that point, I'm just going to have to stitch on the actual buttons, which again, I can count 14 on the other side and sew them into the middle, or use the buttonholes as a guide. So I'm gonna do this kind of chill tonight, and then we'll do the buttons tomorrow. But I'm very excited to be done. I've been working on this for so long. It feels really good to almost be there after months of working. So I'm also hoping that it's gonna look good, because when I tried it on earlier off camera after doing this stripe, I didn't love it, and that makes me very scared because I loved it for a long time. I think it just needs to stretch out, like mold to itself. It's very stiff right now because it hasn't been worn and it's very fresh. So yeah, I'm just gonna make the buttonholes and go to bed. So let's talk buttons. I attached one last night after I said I was going to do it today, but I did do one last night. So they are the exact size of my trim, which I like. I know lots of people like having a little bit of extra trim, but I thought this was fine. These are what I bought. They're just like a multi-pack. I got these on Amazon a while ago in anticipation for this moment, but I have 5 buttonholes. So what I've decided to do is do 3 black and 2 white. So we have our black one, gonna be a white one, then a black, then a white, then a black. So I'm gonna stitch those on. We'll see how this goes, because this one's on nice and secure. I want the other ones on, and I have to leave for work in 50 minutes. I'm gonna try to get these on before I have to go, because I really want to wear my cardigan today. I have to walk to work and it's kind of chillier. This will be fun to wear. After months of work, many very late nights, time crocheting on the bus, in the break room at work, it is finally done, and we have an actual cardigan. I cannot believe it's done. I'm just so excited. This thing took forever. Now it's very, very bulky because since it is crocheted, I also use cheap acrylic yarn. If I were to do this again, I would definitely do it with more expensive yarn to begin with, so that after you put in so much time, it's less bulky if you use cotton or something, or wool, and it also wouldn't pill as much, because the acrylic is definitely pilling and everything already. I've worn it out a couple of times, and each time I've worn it out, I've gotten so many compliments on it, which makes me super happy. I'm also super proud of myself for kind of just putting it together and rolling with things. As you saw in the plan, the sleeves were supposed to have the same size squares all the way throughout. In the end, I did shorten lengthwise and widthwise the squares in the sleeve so that it would taper a little bit more, and also it would have been way too long. This sleeve fits me perfectly once this is on, if not a little long. This cardigan just came together in a beautiful way, so I am very, very happy with it. So this is how it turned out. Once again, I am just so beyond happy with it. It makes me feel like $1 million. Now, you might notice that it isn't actually fully finished. I need to put on 2 more buttons, and I think in the last update I mentioned that it was missing 2 buttons. Little snag in the road, thread that I was using to put these on, I actually lost. It's somewhere in my room. I have since cleaned my room multiple times. Can't find it, so I have to bring this to my parents' house and use a bobbin that I have there, or just take a bobbin at some point. But I still think it looks fine the way it is. We are gonna have 1 more white button and 1 more black button right here to finish it off, but I am super happy. So yeah, it is the perfect oversize for me. I am a large to an extra large, and this fits me absolutely perfect. It's just the perfect fit. So I am very happy with it. We love her. So yeah, that's the video. If you guys liked it, definitely hit that like button and subscribe. We are so close to 1,500 subscribers on this channel, which is absolutely insane. And I'm so happy that this family keeps on growing, and I cannot wait for it to grow further. Setting a new goal for 2,000 subscribers. Can we do it? I don't know. If you guys want a video more in depth on how I made the cardigan, please let me know, because I'm happy to do a video on the different stitches I used, how to actually make each square, the dimensions I used, as kind of like a pattern video that I would probably accompany with a written pattern if I can figure out how to write one. And then you guys can make one for yourself, which would be absolutely awesome. So yeah, without further ado, I will see you in the next one. Have an amazing day.